In the small island of Sweetwater Point, Florida, two meth heads, Trig and Shane, are discovered by the cops, dealing meth deep in the woods. The two are unwilling to part with their goods and escape with them. Trig gets subdued, while Shane runs through the swamp. There he unknowingly drops a pack of meth into the water, and a fortunate alligator consumes it. Sheriff Williams is about to apprehend Shane, but the gator, which has now overgrown, sneaks in behind him and swallows him up, leaving a trace of blood in the water. Meanwhile, as the other officer tries to question Trig to reveal their super lab, the gator appears and bites through the cop. Trig escapes, dropping another meth bag, which the gator takes down again. Following this incident, the town's mayor, Jansen, secretly hires some guys who know about reptiles to get rid of the high gator before the tourists flock into town for his upcoming Memorial Day event. He also asks them to keep the case as a secret, not to scare people with it. Meanwhile, Sheriff Williams later calls in Officer Laren Dante from Tampa's city's drug enforcement agency to look into the case. Dante finds it funny that the town is being terrorized by an alligator that ate a bag of meth, so he has to check it out. If the case is true, they need to round up all the meth in the island before the gator gets to it and becomes invincible. Meanwhile, the sheriff also hires an experienced, retired army guy named Bithlow to take the thing down, and he gets into the forest with his sniper rifle. Dante goes to meet with the mayor about the incident, but he gets put off since the boss is busy planning the memorial event. As Bithlow surveys the swamp, the gator destroys his drone and goes after him. He then runs for his life while calling Sheriff Williams to tell him the gator is not as small as they may think. Meanwhile, Dante meets his old flame Anna and his father Grady, who both served with him before they retired to sell wine. Sheriff Williams informs the mayor that the gator could be a little more dangerous than they anticipated, but he downplays it, saying they don't need to ruin the event since the tourists bring in good money. Meanwhile, the mayor's men, who have knowledge of reptiles, come across the enemy in the forest. They find that it isn't their ordinary chameleons and gecko, so they attempt to escape. However, the gator isn't taking any prisoners and it chews on both of them. Bithlow later manages to escape and heads straight to Grady's bar, where he meets Dante, whom he once worked with at a gator farm. Bithlow narrates his shocking encounter with the beast, which is terribly fast and strong. They plan an attack on it, and Anna wishes to join in since the meth also affected her father. So she lies to her father, Grady, and says she's going to town for some stock, and leaves with the team. Elsewhere, a group of meth heads are delivering some meth. On his way out, one of them accidentally drops a bag into the water. It's already too late for them, since Carlos the Menace, which is now an addict, sniffs it out and appears. It starts chomping on them and chases one of them through town just to get his meth. Later, Sheriff's team picks up one of the gator's tooths after it took down their cell tower. This destroyed their means of communication, and there's no way to warn any visitors coming into the island by the boats. The team plans to act fast to eliminate the gator, and they have to warn everyone in town to keep off the water. They consult the mayor about the curfew, but he downplays the situation again and is hesitant to call the curfew. It's only after they hear an explosion from afar that the mayor agrees to the curfew, but he won't be canceling his upcoming event. Seeing his attitude, Sheriff Williams suspects the mayor could have a connection with the meth chain, so he later consults him. However, Mayor Jensen refuses any involvement with the business, saying he's only doing his job and that the sheriff should also do his. Later, the gator bursts into Grady's bar, where it senses some meth has arrived. It does find the meth dealer, Trig, who had just checked in, and it immediately eliminates him. The sheriff's team also arrives and starts firing at it. They manage to scare it away, but they have a problem. If the gator gets to the super lab, where all the town's meth is made, it will become unkillable. Bithlow comes up with a plan to ingratiate themselves with some junkies if they want any clue as to the super lab. So, he takes Dante to a slap fight contest initiated by his friend Tucker, also a meth dealer. Dante has to take some slaps to earn the leader's friendship. Surprisingly, he manages to knock out their champion and wins a handsome amount. Dante then offers Tucker his whole win in exchange for the location of the main meth lab, and he agrees. Tucker then takes them to a hideout beyond the swamp, where he claims the meth base is. However, when they get on the line across, he turns it off, and the two hang on air. Tucker is not going to easily hand over such a crucial secret, since he actually knows they're both cops. He then pulls out a gun to eradicate them, but they receive a visitor. It's Carlos the Gator, who woke up due to their noises. Tucker fires at it, but it's now past bullets, and it chomps him up, leaving Dante and Bithlo to escape. Elsewhere, the mayor has knocked down a couple of beers, and he starts ranting about how much effort he has put to keeping the safety of the town, but which no one ever sees. This causes him to pick up a gun, and he heads to confront the stubborn alligator himself. Sheriff Williams then arrives with Anna to help out, but they're a little late. The gator marches through the mayor's bullets and eliminates him before leaving. Later, Dante and Bithlo return from Tucker's hideout and meet up Anna at Grady's bar. The team formulates a plan to instead lower the beast on shore, using some captured meth as bait, and then take it to Tucker's hideout to corner it. Just as they're talking, they notice some PVC pipes connected just around them in the forest, which is strangely unnatural. They then discover a hidden bunker, which turns out to be the super meth lab. Within the bunker, they find large stashes of money and meth. If the mutant gets its hands on all that meth, it will surely turn into Godzilla and rule the planet. The place is also well ventilated, which explains why the beast wasn't also able to smell the meth. As they are testing the ventilators, they give off the meth scent, and in turn they receive the guest that never misses a party, Carlos the Menace. When the gator enters the bunker, they set themselves in formation and open fire on it like the money heist. Dante even fires an RPG from Grady into its belly, resulting in a huge explosion. The gator lays down, breathless, and the team celebrates that they made it just in time for the fireworks. The following day is the much-anticipated Memorial Day, which the mayor will miss since he just joined the afterlife. Guests flocked to the island in cruise boats with oiled models on the front. Sweetwater Point is back in business. Bithlo jokes that he wants to go back to the lab to skin the gator so he could have a trophy of it. Or maybe they'll put it on barbecue for a feast. Dante and Sheriff head to test the microphones while Bithlo heads back to the bunker. There, he finds the gator still resting, but surprisingly it's just its skin which it shed off. The gator is gone, and probably twice as large. Bithlo phones back to the sheriff, but no one answers, so he runs back to town. Carlos the gator is back in town, and to celebrate his revival is a horde of delicious humans of all shapes and sizes. Sheriff Williams is the first to be chosen by the gator's teeth, and everyone runs around in fear. The protector is gone, but Dante's team still have to continue the fight. Dante offers to lure away the predator through the water. The rest prep up the fireworks cannon bought by the mayor, which they plan to use to blast Carlos. Dante has to get out the way in time as it happens. Dante sprinkles some meth into the water, and the addict turns his focus on him. The gator then rushes to the water, even ignoring Grady and Anna, who were huge potentials. As it approaches Dante, the Gradys fire a rocket at it, and Dante leaps into the water. As the fireworks come out, it shreds Carlos to pieces, sending every citizen a piece of his meat. The threat is finally eliminated, and the town is spared from doomsday. The heroes later gather at Grady's bar, where they have a toast to the sheriff who pushed them. The great sacrifice of Dante earns him a kiss from Anna, which his father approves. Finally, at the battle place, the swamp waters are dead still, and an angry, familiar growl is heard, bringing the thrilling film to an end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.